Now underway in Citronelle after a shooting sent one person to the hospital.
Gulf Coast with breaking news and weather. Fox 10 Midday starts now.
Well, good morning, everyone, and thanks for choosing to spend your Wednesday morning with us. Right now, you're watching Fox 10 Midday on this rainy morning. I'm Ashley Mitchell.
Meteorologist Nicholas Herboso here. Yes.
Where is the sun?
It's come out. No, I believe it or not, there are some places that have started.
I just haven't seen it here.
Yes.
In Westmobile, where I live.
So as you know, I'm on the Eastern Shore. Got the flash flood warning that was issued for us last night. The rain was heavy. It was really heavy. And parts of downtown Fairhope down to Point Clear, I think we got around 10 inches.
Wow.
I mean, or that was the radar estimate. So it was extremely heavy rain last night. We're on a downtrend though. Our sun will return.
What I like to hear.
So let's go ahead and start talking about this. Hey, I think you can kind of see some breaks in the clouds there in that camera, kind of, maybe-ish. You're looking at the Orange Beach camera towards the pass there. Rough surf out there today, so please be careful if you're out at the beach. I don't think we'll have as many rain interruptions later today, but please, please, please be careful with that rougher surf. So you can see puffy cumulus clouds, some rain showers off in the distance there. Here's what the forecast looks like over the next few hours. It's just going to be a mostly cloudy day. Temperatures in the middle 80s, so it's still going to be very warm, still going to be very, very muggy, but those rain chances are definitely down at this point. I'm not going to zoom in and look at all this. You know what the rainfall was. We just talked about it earlier. Daphne, all the way down to Fairhope, Point Clear, all the way down anywhere in this orange area. 4+ inches of rain earlier today. There was another band I will mention closer to the Wolf Bay area where you can see another band of higher totals. We had multiple places that set up a lot of rain. This is all thanks to a surface trough and essentially a weak low pressure system that has been across our area. And you can see some of the rain that's falling there. Look at northwest Florida where we have some of the highest or heaviest rainfall right now, right over Eglin. Fort Walton Beach, Niceville next in line for some showers. And then this forecast model just showing very isolated scattered showers and mostly cloudy conditions for the rest of the day. Have the rain gear just in case. I don't think it is going to be a complete washout for the rest of the day today. In fact, we will see some breaks in the cloud cover. Here's 9 p.m. just as scatter showers around. And then rain chances go lower overnight tonight. 40% on Thursday and 40% beyond. It is a return to the more typical summertime setup of scattered showers and thunderstorms. Lower rain chances, we'll call it, that more typical setup in the days ahead, but also some hotter temperatures later this week into the weekend. That and a look at the tropics is coming up.
Nick, thank you. In our headlines, we're starting with breaking news out of George County, Mississippi this morning. The sheriff's office there is investigating a homicide. We're told that deputies were called to a home on Finch Road just before 6 this morning where they found one person deceased. Authorities say they later identified a person of interest and took him into custody during a traffic stop. Officials say they are withholding releasing the name of the victim until the family is notified. Now, anyone with any information about this case is urged to call the George County Sheriff's Office at the number on your screen. That's 601-947-4811. And back here in Alabama, Citronelle police are investigating a shooting that sent one person to the hospital. The man on your screen is Joseph Smith. Smith is charged with first-degree domestic violence after investigators say he shot his wife in the head. According to police, the victim tried to drive herself to the hospital, but she ended up pulling over on Highway 45 and Chunchula Georgetown Road to call 911. Citronelle Police Chief Chris McLean says the bullet did not penetrate the woman's skull, and she thankfully is expected to be okay. Now, Smith was scheduled to be in court today for a bond hearing, and we'll let you know what happens once we get that update. And Mobile police have identified the workers who died in a worksite accident. Police say 31-year-old Garrett Robertson and 50-year-old Erber Rivas died after they were exposed to gas. We're told the men were doing work for a company hired by the Mobile Area Water and Sewer System. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or OSHA, is investigating. But it's not the first time OSHA has investigated the company, Construction Labor Services. Back in 2022 and 2023, OSHA determined that the company exposed employees to fall hazards by failing to use a cover near a manhole. The second violation related to a failure to, quote, train employees on a written hazard communication program to assist employees using hazardous chemicals. Both violations were resolved through an informal settlement that included no fine. We reached out to Construction Labor Services for comment, but they declined to respond. And OSHA didn't return calls and emails seeking more information. And in the meantime, we're learning more about one of the victims of that deadly incident, Garrett Robertson. Family and friends are sharing how his loss is impacting those who loved him most.
Really in the prime of his life, young children. So, I'm sure as anybody would understandably feel, it's quite devastating for me personally, but really for his family that he leaves behind, and all the friends and family. He was such a good guy that, that saying that he'd give you the shirt off his back.
And our hearts are certainly with the families as well. You may remember there was a third worker who survived the incident. We've now learned that the worker had to stay in the hospital, but is reportedly doing better. Well, wildlife officials in Florida have a big decision to make. The commission is voting today on whether or not to allow a statewide black bear hunt. This all comes on the heels of 2 separate bear attacks in Florida earlier this year. One of those was the state's first deadly black bear attack in history. And just days later, a man was attacked by a bear in his backyard in Gulf Breeze. The last time hunting bears was legal in Florida was 10 years ago, back in 2015. Florida wildlife officials are reporting that black bear populations are steadily growing. And some neighbors in Gulf Breeze say they're seeing more bears now than ever before.
We've had them occasionally. It seems like they come periodically. They come for maybe a few days in a row. Then it might be weeks before we see them again. They come during any time of day. We see them literally in the middle of the day.
Now, back in 2015, the FWC had to close the hunt early after 304 bears were killed in just the first 2 days. We'll update you today as soon as we find out the result of the vote. Well, meantime, playing hardball with Mexico is paying off. The Mexican government announced the upcoming expulsion of more than 24 drug lords to U.S. custody. Fox News correspondent Griff Jenkins has more from Washington now.
The Trump administration has made taking the fight to the cartels a top priority, and now Mexico is stepping up. 26 wanted drug fugitives, including top cartel leaders, will be expelled from Mexico and extradited to the U.S. It includes the leaders of the Sinaloa, Noreste, and Jalisco cartels, all designated as foreign terrorist organizations. Attorney General Pam Bondi writing, quote, "These 26 men have all played a role in bringing violence and drugs to American shores. Under this Department of Justice, they will face severe consequences." The announcement from Mexico came less than a week after President Trump reportedly told the Pentagon to use military force against the cartels.
The Mexican government is now cooperating with the U.S. government because it does not want U.S. forces going into Mexico to take care of the cartels.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth wouldn't confirm the president's order, but he told Fox News the U.S. military is taking a more active role in the war on drugs.
When given the opportunity, when it makes sense at the directive of the president, we will take action to defend the American people.
This follows a February transfer of 29 other cartel leaders. Officials on both sides of the border hoping to send a powerful message after years of cartel protection under former Mexican President Obrador's hugs, not bullets policy.
We've arrested over 19,000 criminals, and we've seized thousands of tons of narcotics, and we will not stop.
The extradition flight from Mexico to the U.S. is scheduled for next Tuesday. In Washington, Griff Jenkins, Fox News.
And coming up on Fox 10 Midday, concerns about alcohol-related health risks are on the rise in America. Also, we'll talk about how you can get the most nutritional bang for your buck in today's Health Minute. But before we get there, let's check in with Nick.
And after school today, it looks like the forecast is going to be mostly cloudy. I think the rain chance is not exceptionally high for the evening time, only around 20, 30, 40%. But still, a few showers are possible, so we can't rule it out. But the main story will be the added cloud cover that we have. We will have a look at Futurecast and a full look at the tropics on the other side of the break. So stay with us. You're watching Fox 10 Midday.
Welcome back into Fox 10 Midday. Grocery bills, as we know, are only getting higher, and many Americans are feeling the pinch in more ways than one. A recent poll showed 53% of poll respondents reported grocery costs were a major stress. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither speaks to a registered dietitian about how to get the most nutritional bang for your buck.
You want to eat healthy, but you also have to watch your budget. Experts say doing both can be hard right now, but not impossible.
Are we making any unnecessary purchases, such as snack foods, sugar sweetened beverages, any maybe convenience foods? Are we eating out more than we should?
Registered dietitian Julia Zumpano with Cleveland Clinic says all of those things add up. So instead of spending your money on them, shift your focus to whole foods, which are the foundation of a healthy diet. That includes lean proteins, whole grains, fruits, veggies, and healthy fats.
Before you walk into that grocery store, I would do a little bit of planning ahead. So make a grocery list, check for sales and you know, any discounts or coupons. Those are also great.
Zumpano says buying in bulk can also save money. So can avoiding what she calls convenience foods like pre-washed vegetables, pre-marinated meats, and fruit that's already been cut.
If you're able to do some of that legwork on your own, you can save cost there too.
Going with frozen fruit and vegetables or fresh produce that's in season can also add nutrition to your diet without the extra cost. And she says stick with staples.
Beans and legumes are an excellent staple to have because they provide so many nutrients.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Well, fewer Americans are hitting the booze as concerns about alcohol health risks are also on the rise. 53% of U.S. adults believe moderate drinking is bad for their health, which is a huge jump from 28% in 2015, according to a Gallup poll conducted in July. Researchers say the increase in alcohol weariness is largely a result of young adults who are most likely to say 1 or 2 drinks a day can lead to health hazards. Even older adults are now more likely to believe moderate drinking can cause risks. 54% of adults report they drink alcohol, which is actually the lowest level in the past 3 decades. Nick, thank you. Right now, health leaders along the Gulf Coast are warning folks about the dangers of Vibrio vulnificus. This is something we talk about every single year. And according to the Louisiana Department of Health, 20 people have been hospitalized with infections this year, and 4 of them have died. Doctors say Vibrio can cause serious infections, especially in people who have open cuts or weakened immune systems. They say people can also get infected by eating raw or undercooked seafood, especially oysters from exposed waters. Dr. Catherine Baumgarten says anyone can get Vibrio, even if you've already been infected before.
If you are in that risk group of cirrhosis, a weakened immune system, a weakened state, that you be cautious in whatever waterway that you may go visit. Certainly we want people to enjoy their visits, enjoy their vacations. It's just being more mindful and a little more cautious when you are going to enjoy those areas.
Yeah, always a great reminder, and officials recommend these safety tips. You want to avoid salt or brackish water if you have a cut, sore, or open wound. And if you get a wound wet, wash it right away with soap and clean water. Avoid eating raw oysters or undercooked seafood, and see a doctor if you get sick or notice signs of infection. Well, up next, multi-billion-dollar investments and out-of-state tuition. We have that story and more in today's business headlines. You're watching Fox 10 Midday on your Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. For staying with us here on Fox 10 Midday this morning, a multi-billion-dollar investment into U.S. manufacturing. A top-selling drink maker is feeling the squeeze from tariffs, and out-of-state kids are surging to the South for college. Here's Fox's CJ Papa.
GE Appliances is investing $3 billion in the U.S. It will expand and modernize its factories over the next 5 years and help soften the effects of tariffs by reshoring some work now done in China and Mexico. The company says the investment will allow the factories to make new models of water heaters, air conditioners, gas ranges, and refrigerators, and will create 1,000 jobs across 5 states. Not so sweet. Arizona Iced Tea says its iconic 99-cent price point could be in jeopardy. The company's chairman blaming the potential price change on President Trump's proposed 50% tariffs on imported aluminum, possibly forcing Arizona to raise prices for the first time in more than 30 years. And more high school students are heading south to attend college. A Wall Street Journal report finding the number of northern attendees increased by 84% in the past 2 decades, with a 30% jump between 2018 and 2022.
Southern public colleges are cheaper, more affordable, and easier to get in than many other colleges in the Northeast and Midwest.
LSU, Tennessee, and Ole Miss have seen over a 200% increase in Northeastern enrollment between 2014 and 2023, followed by Florida, Georgia, and Texas. CJ Papa, Fox News.
And we love having all of those students down here with us. Right now on the Fox 10 Gulfstream, our morning anchor Sarah Wall is taking a closer look at the start of school for college students. She has a warning about a scam, some tips from the experts on how to save money on supplies, and what local colleges have planned for students when they arrive. Remember, you can watch In Depth with Sarah Wall live weekdays at 9 a.m. on the Fox 10 Gulfstream TV app. Well, still to come, everything you need to know about Amtrak's new Mardi Gras route. We have it for you. Also, Vanessa Pacheco is in Pensacola today learning the art of cookie decorating. We'll see how her skills hold up after this. But first, Nick, this weather has me wanting to stay inside and make some cookies as well.
Yeah, we've had some gloomy weather to start the day and quite a bit of rainfall. This is the rainfall report coming to us from Donna Hall in Loxley, around 3.5 inches falling there. If you have rainfall reports, rain gauge photos, send them in on the Fox 10 weather app. We'll be right back after this.
Committed to you. This is Fox 10 Midday.
Welcome back in at the half hour today. This just into our newsroom. President Trump announcing the first recipients of the Kennedy Center honors. And they include country music star George Strait, actor Sylvester Stallone, singer Gloria Gaynor, the rock band Kiss, and actor-singer Michael Crawford. These are the first recipients of the Hallmark honors since President Trump took control of the institution's board earlier this year. The Kennedy Center later said it's honored to host the president. Back in February, President Trump replaced the Performing Arts Center's board with aides and allies, who then elected him as Kennedy Center chairman. The president said he will also host the awards program. And just 2 days away from his highly anticipated sit-down with Russian President Vladimir Putin, President Trump is sharing his game plan with European leaders and Ukraine. He held a strategizing phone call this morning, and Fox's Rebecca Castor has more.
The stakes could not be higher for Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky ahead of President Trump's meeting with Russian leader Vladimir Putin on Friday. Zelensky's not invited to the pivotal sit-down, and today could be his last chance to convince Trump to go tough on Russia.
Everything related to Ukraine must be discussed exclusively with Ukraine. We must prepare a trilateral format for talks. The president told us about his support for this and America's readiness to participate.
On a video conference Wednesday morning, President Trump told European allies his goal is to obtain a ceasefire during his meeting with Putin, but acknowledged any land swapping can only be negotiated with Ukraine.
He hopes in the future there can be a trilateral meeting with these 3 leaders to finally bring this conflict to an end.
Russia has made significant advances, especially in Ukraine's eastern regions, but Kyiv and other cities still remain under Ukrainian control. Zelensky has previously shut down any talks of ceding land, but at this point, that may be the only way to end the fighting.
There'll be some land swapping going on. I know that through Russia and through conversations with everybody, for the good of Ukraine.
President Trump says he thinks he'll know within minutes on Friday whether a deal with Russia is possible. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
And new today, the U.S. State Department updates its travel advisory for Mexico to a level 2. The department is now warning Americans choosing to travel to Mexico to use increased caution due to terrorism, crime, and kidnapping. Americans are advised to comply if stopped at road checkpoints, do not push back or ignore instructions, and to avoid traveling after dark or alone in some of those remote areas. Now, this all comes after the most recent advisory from the U.S. back in June that cautioned travelers of kidnappings tied to dating apps. Well, we're super excited for this one. There will be a new way to travel the Gulf Coast, and it's also about to hit the tracks. It's called the Mardi Gras route. And starting Monday, Amtrak will start offering a direct passenger train service along the Gulf Coast, connecting Mobile to New Orleans. Some other cities are making it easier for people to ride the train. Greyhound and Flix are offering shuttle buses from Baton Rouge twice a day to help people get to the New Orleans depot. Visit Mobile is hoping that will bring more visitors in turn. And Amtrak says if they catch the morning connection in New Orleans, they'll be right back in Mobile before lunchtime. And take a look at this now. The parking lot outside the Mobile train platform is now paved. So the parking area will be new as well. In today's Very Vanessa segment, from blank cookies to edible masterpieces, Vanessa Pacheco is in Pensacola learning the art of cookie decorating. So let's see if she's got the icing skills or if she'll crumble under pressure.
I am here in Pensacola taking a cookie decorating class. I am with the owner of the Blue Cookie Jar, Christian McDonald. Hi. Christian, I'm so excited for this. Honestly, I don't know if I want to eat the cookies or decorate them, but we've kind of already gotten started, right?
Yes, we have, and we are going to move on to doing the tentacles on our jellyfish. So we're going to grab our piping icing. We need our pink for this.
Our pink,
yes,
okay.
Our pink.
And you guys, we didn't mean to match. At least not together, but it kind of works out. Yeah.
Yes,
okay, so walk me through this
step.
All
right, so you're going to hold it kind of like a pencil here. And we're just going to touch down and start squeezing and creating these little wiggly tentacles. They don't have to be perfect at all. And some of them will end up being covered up a little bit, but we're just going to do little wavy lines.
I will say this takes some concentration, but it's very fun.
It is, and it's very therapeutic.
Yes. Now, Christian, this is part of one of your upcoming cookie decorating classes, right?
Yes, it is. So this is the jellyfish in my Under the Sea themed class coming up next week. I have classes in Pace and in Pensacola. My Pace location is the Makery. And that class is going to be held on August 20th, and then at a sweet party in Pensacola is the class on August 21st, and yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, this is coming out okay for me. What do you think?
They look perfect. I think they look really, really good. And after you do some pink, you can move on to some blue.
Some blue. Is it this one, the smaller one?
Yes, the smaller one. Yep.
And same thing.
Icing. Same thing. Kind of in the gaps, but you can cross over a little bit too. No big deal.
Now, I see different types of cookies here. You have your Under the Sea, but you also have some other ones, right?
I do. So I've got right here are my my September class. It's going to be a camping themed class, and I'm really excited about it because we're going to do some lettering in that class, which I've never done in any of my classes before, but I think everybody's going to do really good at it. So I've got that, and then I also have a preview of my Halloween class, just 2 of the cookies. We always do 5 cookies in every class, but I haven't fully decided on the rest of the design. So we get this little preview of the ghost in the little haunted house. I think Halloween cookies are really fun.
Yes,
so.
All super cute. Now, Christian, if anyone wants more information about your upcoming classes, where can they go?
Yeah, so they can find me on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok. I am the Blue Cookie Jar, and I'm on all social media, and you'll be able to get to my website that way to register for classes.
All right. Well, we, of course, have to finish up these cookies because I'm ready to eat them.
Yeah, me too.
But, Christian, thank you so much. And, of course, we're going to have all that information on our website, fox10tv.com. Click on the Very Vanessa tab. But thank you so much. We have a little bit more to go.
Yeah,
here,
we
right?
do. We're going to finish them
We'll
up.
toss it back to studio, but we're going to continue working on these cookies.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Nick, thank you. The time 11:39 now, and still to come, a non-political fight is going to come to the White House soon. We'll explain. And the country's oldest lifeguard will tell you just how long this man has been patrolling the beaches of New Jersey. His story after this. Hey, welcome back. Here are your midday talkers now. A non-political battle is coming to Washington, D.C. as President Trump prepares to host an Ultimate Fighting Championship event at the White House next year.
USC Chief Executive Dana White confirmed that during an appearance on CBS Mornings, White also said he spoke about the UFC event with President Trump Monday night, and more talks are scheduled.
Yeah, according to an anonymous White House staffer, the UFC fight is being scheduled for next July 4th, and that day marks the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence signing. Well, check this out. Police in California have made a massive bust of Labubu dolls.
So after serving a search warrant, this is crazy, authorities in Chino recovered this number is crazy. Roughly $30,000 worth of the highly sought after dolls. And those dolls are expensive, but $30,000. Authorities said the toys were stolen from a warehouse over multiple trips and days.
And officers say the goal was to resell the stolen Labubus nationwide. The merchandise is now back with the owner. Nick, I don't know how much you're on social media. Have you seen the viral video of the gold Labubu doll?
No, I have not.
Okay, so there's this lady, and it's satire for sure, but she has this little doll that she paints gold, and she says in a British accent, "I am the one and only owner of the 24-karat gold Labubu." And so everybody's like copying this video. And so there's one person in each video, and then one person paints their face gold with like gold makeup, and they're the Labubu. It's everywhere. If you're Gen Z or you're in that pocket of people, you've seen this video.
It is just such a thing. I mean, it's incredible.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a lot of.
Anyway, the video is funny. I'll catch you up to speed after the
listen,
show.
I don't have time to go on social media anyways.
I know you don't. All right. Well, he's one of many across the nation patrolling the beaches this summer, a lifeguard. But for one New Jersey man, he stands above the rest in experience and age.
And Ed Kalkowitz is an 82-year-old and has been doing his job at Island Beach State Park since 1961. He's been recognized by the Guinness Book of World Records as the oldest sitting lifeguard in the country. He says he just doesn't stay busy he doesn't just do it to stay busy during the summer, he says. During winter, Ed serves as a ski instructor.
Sounds a lot like you. He's busy.
Yes.
Well, Ed has been told by officials with Island Beach State Park that he has a spot on the stand as long as he wants. What incredible service to the community. Seems very active for sure.
I was about to say, he's busy, but he's doing the right thing. He's out in the sun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's got that tan for life.
Yeah, no, man, I need to be doing that.
Why don't you give us some sunshine then?
I need some. Man, what am I doing?
Okay.
Yeah, I want to be that active when I'm 82. That's good.
Goals, for sure.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the forecast here on the Fox 10 weather app. This is what we got going on. Light rain showers going on right now. Portions of our area, they are very light. We are seeing significantly improving conditions here. At the beach, lifeguards are busy. This is a high risk of rip currents today. That is a big concern for us here. We have details on that on the Fox 10 weather app, full forecast outlook and stuff. Also, Matt's full update is available on the app. And we encourage you to submit your pictures and videos on the app. These are very useful. Rain gauge pictures, rainbow pictures, whatever you can, send them in, and we would greatly appreciate those. Also, I do want to mention that the Futurecast is available on the Fox 10 weather app if you scroll down. Let's take a look at the Futurecast here over the next few hours and see how this rolls. Notice how at 4 p.m. it does get a little hotter this afternoon. Then we'll see some pop-up showers and thunderstorms that start getting going. These will be scattered, few and far between. It is not going to be an everywhere rain kind of situation. And in fact, at 7 p.m., look at how many places are actually mostly clear with less cloud cover. So that's what it's going to look like into the evening time, very scattered, even into the overnight. This forecast model does actually clear us out in the complete overnight hours and the early morning hours, so that might be nice if you want to get outside at all and look at the stars, because that might be the first time we're able to do it in a little while. Here's what our forecast looks like into the afternoon. Notice the temperatures going up this afternoon, and then it's just partly cloudy, mostly cloudy skies. The numbers in Pensacola, very similar, mostly cloudy conditions, temperatures in the middle 80s. Coming up in just a bit, have another look at that full long-range forecast. We'll be right back after this.
Listen to this. A bride-to-be gets hands-on traveling across the country to source a stone for her engagement ring straight from the earth. Jeremy Roth has this story in today's Take a Look at This.
A Manhattan woman's mission to design her own engagement ring hit literal pay dirt when she found a 2+ carat diamond in the rough in an Arkansas state park. Michelle Fox spent 3 weeks searching through Arkansas's famous Crater of Diamonds State Park, a rough terrain tourist trap where determined diggers come to hunt for buried jewels and gems. On her very last day, walking along the park's west drain, Fox found her prize, a smoothed 2.3 carat diamond about the size of a tooth. The park says it's the third largest diamond found at the site this year. The eagle-eyed bride-to-be says it's the, quote, most diamondy diamond she's ever seen. A metal detectorist's surprising find in New York allowed a man in Texas to get back a trinket he'd lost over half a century ago. After finding this 1969 Fordham-class ring buried in the surf of a Mount Sinai beach, detectorist David Orlowski used the power of social media, spreading the word on a Fordham reunion Facebook page, which led him, and ultimately the ring, to Dr. Alfred DeStefano in Texas, who remembers dropping it in the Long Island Sound decades ago and is thrilled to have it back on his hand where it belongs. Finally, the discovery of a single silver dollar may soon nab millions of dollars at auction. Auction house Stax Bauer says this incredibly rare 1804 silver dollar was found in an enthusiast's forgotten collection. Struck at the Philadelphia U.S. Mint in 1834, but bearing the year 1804, the coin was made specifically for diplomatic heads of state. Officials say the newly discovered coin is one of only 16 known examples, which is why they estimate it could fetch between $3 and $5 million when it goes to auction this December. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
And it's that time, 3 to know before you go. While much of the food sold at dollar stores tends to be less healthy, it may not be harming American diets. Researchers examined food purchases made by 180,000 U.S. households between 2008 and 2020, using the USDA tools to estimate the dietary quality of food purchases. While grocery stores offered healthier foods, households that relied heavily on dollar store products have only a modestly lower nutrition score for their overall food purchases. And investigators believe it's because dollar store shoppers tend to get most of their family's calories at stores offering healthier options. And then starting today, YouTube will begin testing a new age verification system in the U.S. that relies on AI to differentiate between adults and minors based on the kinds of videos they've been watching. Now, the tests will initially only affect a sliver of YouTube's audience, but it will likely become more widespread if initial testing proves to be successful. If the system flags a logged-in viewer as being under 18, YouTube will impose the normal controls and restrictions that the site already uses as a way to prevent minors from watching inappropriate content. And if the system has inaccurately called out a viewer as a minor, the mistake can be corrected by showing YouTube a government-issued ID, a credit card, or even a selfie. And finally, severe flooding swamping communities in Tennessee. The National Weather Service says this is the city's second wettest day on record. Authorities say the severe rains have killed 3 people and 1 person is still missing. The city's mayor said water rescues are undergoing for floodwaters inundated dozens of roads. Officials have declared a state of emergency for the Chattanooga region, which was hit the hardest. Nick, our thoughts are certainly with families experiencing that right now.
And in that video that was being shown, that was like the interstate that we were looking at.
Wow.
It was, that interstate was flooded, some of the craziest images that I'd seen in a while. We had some flooding of our own last night. It was very, very rainy. Take a look at this. These are your rainfall, estimated rainfall totals. Zooming into the eastern shore, 7+ inches, some places around 10 to almost 12 inches. And we did see some reports of flooding. I want to remind you, though, if you have the chance, send us a rain gauge photo. If you had any photos of the rain, videos of the rain, the flooding last night, please send them in on the Fox 10 Weather app. We would greatly appreciate it. I want to give you a quick update on the tropics here. This is Tropical Storm Erin, 45-mile-per-hour tropical storm. It is tracking across the Atlantic. It's probably going to become a hurricane soon. And it's going to move north of the big islands there. So you can see Puerto Rico and Hispaniola, so Haiti and Dominican Republic. It goes north of those islands and then eventually turns north before it gets to the Bahamas and before it gets to the mainland United States. That is good news. Take a look at the European forecast tracks. These are the spaghetti plots. And you can see here how they turn north towards Bermuda. So Bermuda is going to be looking at this system. Might be some rough surf for the East Coast, but good news there that this thing does take the turn. Here's the other forecast models, and you can see that those also, right through the early part of the week, do take that turn north. Futurecast for us locally, showers and thunderstorms possible this evening, but I'm not really aggressive with the rain chances. Looking ahead, some lower rain chances, more typical summer weather to end. I mean, look at Friday and Saturday, 40% chance of rain, 92, 94. That is typical hot stuff summer. Yes.
The dog days of summer in August, and honestly, year round, still not used to it being from the Midwest, but here we are.
Hey, that's how it goes.
We'll take rain over a tropical storm any day, for sure. Thanks for watching Fox 10 Midday. Be sure to stick around for Fox 10 Live at 3. Have a wonderful Wednesday.